on our way to North Carolina. From Miami to the Raleigh area, it's like 11 hours, but we usually make it in like 15 hours sometimes with all the stopping. Earlier this week, we were talking about how this is like the most organized, relaxed week we've ever had leading up to this road trip, because we've done this road trip many times before. The week was pretty stress-free until last night, this morning, when you're traveling with cats. Yeah, and we're taking both of them, and they haven't done this drive in a while. But it's going the way that it usually goes. Ramona's screaming her head off for the first few hours. We're like 3 hours now into the drive, so she finally started calming down a little bit.
Tallulah, though, is remarkably quiet. She's usually screaming too, but not today.
She's an angel, but yeah, no, the other one is...
Demonio.
We weren't going to go to North Carolina this month. We were just there for my brother's wedding, and then we had that trip to New York for our anniversary. But in my family, anniversaries are, we take them seriously. We always get together. It's like almost tradition now. The couple that is being celebrated cuts a cake. We take pictures. We say beso, beso. And it's a big deal in my family. And this year we weren't going to, because we were going to go to New York. But when my parents visited me a few months ago and I told them that, my dad was like, so, entonces no van a venir? And I was like, ugh. So I had to come. I couldn't do it. I could not come home on our anniversary month. And it just so happened that we hadn't done this trip in a while, the road trip.
Last few times we flew.
We were starting to miss it. Even Justin, who does all the driving, because, fun fact, I have driving anxiety. It was just an excuse to take this road trip, bring the girls, because we both miss them a lot when we're not home. And road tripping allows us to bring them with all their stuff. Oh my God, what is this?
Trans-Florida Central Railroad Trail.
We're in Central Florida. Whoa. Half the trip is just Florida, because Florida is huge.
Okay, the length of Florida is about the same as the length of Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina combined. So half the trip is just getting out of my darn state, because we live in the butt crack of Florida.
Since we have decided to eventually move back to North Carolina, I do talk about it in this vlog, like I have a sit down segment, but I don't know yet if I'm gonna put that before or after this. If this is before, breaking news, we do plan on moving back eventually. Since we decided that, now when we go back to North Carolina, it's with an additional purpose. It's not just to visit family, it's also to envision a life there, especially for Mr. Mans. It's something that is gonna take a lot of time for him to adjust to, and so now when we go back and visit, I have that in mind of like, I want to show him what our life is gonna look like there. So I'm excited about it too, because I feel like when I was living in North Carolina, I was in like this little small town bubble. I'm excited to explore North Carolina a little bit more as well and step out of that bubble when I visit, because when we move back, or when I move back and he moves there, it's gonna be a new life, a new routine, and we're gonna be outside of the bubble that I grew up in. So that's exciting. So what this road trip usually looks like is me having to turn around to untangle their leashes, stopping at Buc-ee's. We stop at all the Buc-ee's along the way. They have the cleanest bathrooms ever.
And I'm gonna need a bathroom after this.
Oh my God. I love the Buc-ee's public bathrooms. As someone with OCD, I really appreciate the fact that they have cleaning fluid in there for you to clean the seat before you use it. That is like, they just get me. They get me, Yeah, so we're gonna stop at all the Buc-ee's. We'll probably show you what we get at Buc-ee's if we get anything to eat. And yeah.
We always have to get into the Buc-ee's one at a time, because we can't leave the girls alone either.
Yeah. Oh, we already had breakfast. We had breakfast at Chick-fil-A. I was hoping to start filming like the second we got in the car and all that, but no, girl. I was so stressed out with these cats. But from here on out, hopefully it's a smooth ride. We're gonna listen to music. I brought our Switch. I haven't played Animal Crossing in who knows how many months. So I'm gonna have lots of weeds to collect. I don't know how much money I owe anymore. I brought a book too. That's it. Do you want to see them? Wait. Okay, but don't make eye contact, okay? Because then they'll start screaming again. You have anything else to say?
I love duckies. To Mumi.
We're at our first Bucky stop. I just came back from my turn in the bathroom. While I was in the bathroom, he was putting in gas. He told me that I should scope out the place, see if I wanted anything while I was in there so that he could go get it for me when he comes back. But that line was so long, I didn't want to waste more time. I just came right back. And I told him, like, honestly, I'm not really craving anything from Bucky's right now. I'm not hungry yet either. So whatever he brings, maybe I'll try it, or I'll show you what he gets if he gets anything. We're just hanging out in the car. I'm just watching the cats. Love it. If you can see them. They're kind of mad. They're kind of mad at us right now. But that's the setup. That's the setup we're working with. I don't know if you can see, but the car seat has like 2 little leashes attached to it. So when the car is moving, they're clipped onto that. But when we stop, I switch them to their leashes so that they can reach the litter box and food if they want to eat. But yeah, that's how we endure 15 hours with them in the car. It's a vast improvement from what it used to be like. When we just had Tallulah, I would just sit her like right here on my lap and she would stay there the entire 15-hour drive. And she was fine with it. Like the way you see her right now, that was her. But when we got Ramona, she wanted to be on my lap too. They both did not fit on my lap. And yeah, we then got a like center console car seat thing, but it was too small and they both didn't fit in it. Yeah, they just outgrew it, so we needed to get something bigger, and now they're stuck in the back seat. This would be the second road trip that we've had with that car seat, but the first one, oh my god, you would have thought they were being tortured back there. It made them lose their minds that they couldn't be in the front with us. But this is the safest way we can travel with them. Technically, the safest way to travel with a cat is like those hard plastic carriers, but I'm not gonna have them I'm not gonna have them stuck in there for 15 hours. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know, does that make me a bad cat owner? I don't know. I'm doing my best, okay? Like, it's tied down with the seat belt. They got a harness on, they got a little leash on, like, they're fine. Anywho, if Justin brings something, I'll show you.
We went to Bucky's.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, Bucky's bag. That's gonna be our trash bag for the rest of the trip. I bought a water bottle that we didn't need. Apparently, I just figured out we could probably use it, and then I got here and realized that we don't need it. I got a big old thing of iced tea. Well, Arnold Palmer Light for her liver. We got dark chocolate drizzled pretzels because Leslie likes pretzels and she likes dark chocolate. And this is one of the few things with dark chocolate that I could find, which is strange because they usually have more. And for me, I got Bucky's branded because I needed to get Bucky's branded something. Gummy bears. And I can't be autistic with it today, how I usually do, where I divide each of the colors and I organize the order in which
He
does
do that.
I do that at work, and every time I finish a task at work, I have a gummy so that I can, like, you know, get some kind of stimulation to make work exciting, and it doesn't work, but I do it anyway. But I can't do that while I'm driving.
I don't know if that's autism or ADD, I don't know. All right, so that's it. And I'm gonna start playing Animal Crossing, see what's up in in the island of Blue Ridge.
Oh, that's right. You called it Blue Ridge, huh?
I named it Blue Ridge after the Blue Ridge Mountains. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's go. I found Nemo!
Oh, yeah.
I found Nemo.
Keep me on your side. You give me pause.
We're in Georgia now. We gotta play country music. See if I can get by that song she wrote. Hi. Okay, we're at our second Bucky stop. Just used the bathroom. Just bought our food. Okay, show them what we got.
Okay, I hope this mic isn't like picking up all this bag noise. So we got...
Peach cobbler for me. We're in Georgia, okay? Like, I gotta have
We gotta
peaches.
have some peach cobbler. We got a sliced brisket sandwich for my wife. And for me, we got a sliced brisket sandwich with no sauce.
No sauce. Look at Ramona in the background. Okay,
Because I have an eating disorder. We got 2 forks for the cobbler, 2 knives, and Bucky's napkins.
Yeah. This is usually what I get.
I thought you got the
To be
pulled pork.
honest.
Or...
I-
No, not pulled pork. You don't like pork.
Who are you talking about? Wrong one.
My bad.
You know I don't eat pork.
I thought you got ground something.
No, this is the one I usually get. This is a lot of sauce, though.
Ooh.
It's a lot of sauce, and it's
It's all
mostly
over the
on one
bread.
side.
Okay, there was a piece of brisket that fell out. I'm just gonna eat that.
It'll fill me up.
Yeah, it fills up.
Make me mad. It looks like. Have a bite. ¿Qué mordidota le diste? Great. She's using the litter box while we're eating. Please let it be beef.
I guess we'll smell and see.
Bucky. If you're craving brisket, it'll do the job. Peach cobbler.
See what this peach cobbler's about.
Ooh, it's kind of gooey.
It's kind of gooey.
I don't know if I like that. It doesn't smell like peach. Ready, set, go.
But yeah,
You don't like it?
texture.
I'm not a fan of the smell of it. I don't know
just
why.
want to see.
But it smells like egg.
Yeah, it smells kind of eggy.
I don't like that. It tastes fine. But I can't get past the smell. If I don't like the smell of something, it's very hard for me to enjoy it. Yeah, I can't get past the smell. I just took a few bites because I don't want to feel bad when I throw it away, but I don't like it.
Bucky's.
Sorry, Bucky's. Sorry to anybody who likes the peach cobbler. Anyways, we're gonna keep driving. We were hoping to get home by like 9, 10, but we've been stopping a lot.
5.5 hours to go.
And it's 2 p.m.
3.
It's 3?
It's 3:08.
Oh, this this is a lie.
Oh yeah, I never changed it after that time.
How do you...
Changed. I don't know.
Ah! What? You have to pee again? I think for this next stretch of the road trip, I'm gonna read. I brought a book. I'm reading 2 books right now, actually. I'm reading Sunrise on the Reaping. I was reading the Hunger Games trilogy because I never read it, but I loved the movies and I wanted to read the books. Finally read them. And now that I'm back in the rhythm of reading, I wanted to read some of the books that like I've always had and just never got around to reading. Yeah, and there was a time a few years ago that I realized how little I knew about Mexican history, the history of Mexican Americans in the United States. It's always interested me. I just never got around to investigating. I bought a few books and this was one of them. It's From Indians to Chicanos. I think it's by a professor. It's a professor that had help from other professors, I think, and also students that did research for this as well. This is like the 3rd edition of this book. I started reading it almost immediately after I got it, but I didn't get very far. This last trip to New York, I started it again on the plane, and it's quite thinky. I truly think that brain rot has really affected the way that I can process information. I'm reading sentences that in middle school, high school, I would have had no problem understanding upon first glance, first reading. Now I'm reading things that I'm having to read over and over again to understand what it means. And I don't like that. I feel like my phone has made me dumber. Yeah, I'm trying to exercise my brain and read, but not just anything. Just read things that I'm actually interested in learning about. I consider myself a lifelong student, okay? I always loved learning. I didn't like school, but I loved learning. And I never want to stop. If I see a book about something that I'm really interested in, I want to be able to buy it and read it and like actually get through it and understand it. So yeah, I think this next stretch of the road trip, I'm going to be reading and annotating, because a book like this, I feel like you can't appreciate it well enough without breaking it down. Hi.
Hey.
I'm telling them about my book.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to get started on our next stretch of this road trip. Hopefully we don't get home too late. I was falling asleep. It's basically tradition now that when we're entering the Carolinas, which we are now, we're in South Carolina now.
Just
play the song. Yay, ¿cuánto nos falta? Yay. Okay, so we just had our last stop at Buc-ee's. I don't think we'll stop again unless we have to pee or something, because we're just 2 hours away now from my parents' house. Oh, I got a cup of fruit while I was in there because I was craving something fresh, not something fried or super unhealthy. That's it. I think I'm just gonna keep reading my book. I was reading my book and then I got sleepy, so I fell asleep. And I didn't really record anything because we got hit with really, really heavy rain. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's still kind of raining a little bit.
On top.
Oh no, she's fine. She's just being weird. Look. She's laying on the border of she's half on the border of the car seat and half on her sister. Anyways, yeah, we're just gonna keep driving. Sorry, nothing very interesting. Okay, love you, bye. That was so fast. We made it! We're in NC. Gotta play the song again. Okay, we are less than 30 minutes from my parents' house, so I think I'm gonna stop filming now. How was the road trip for you this time?
I feel less irritable. Probably has to do with the change in my medication, but I'm chilling. I'm very tired. I'm still just as tired, but I don't feel like I want to strangle somebody, you know? I'm chilling.
How much? No, but how much time did we do? We did
15 hours.
what, 15? Yeah, 15 hours.
In 10 minutes will be 15 hours.
So yeah, making it home safe and sound. It was a little it got a little scary there for a second with all the rain, but I guess you'll see how our week goes in North Carolina in the vlog portion of the vlog. Okay, y'all. Thanks for joining. Love you. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye, girls. They blinked. Hope you heard it. So I wanted to start including some of the movies that I watch throughout the month in my vlogs because it really is such a huge part of my daily life. Both Justin and I are huge cinephiles. Before things even got romantic between us, this is all we would talk about, just movies and music. And when we started dating, we made a list of the movies that we wanted to watch, and we just keep adding to it. So since we got married, we watch, I want to say, like 5 to 6 movies a week. Like, we watch a movie almost every night before bed. Yeah, so these are some of the movies that we watched this month. They weren't as many as we usually watch in a month because we were a little busy. We went on 2 trips. We went to New York, and I'm gonna do a separate vlog on that because I vlogged the entire time, and yeah, I want to be able to dedicate a whole video to that. Once we were back home, I had my pioneer meeting and I went out for lunch with some of the pioneers in my congregation, and that was nice. It was nice to have lunch with everyone. And oh my goodness, this was our walk around the neighborhood with Miss Ramona because she has been very hyperactive lately, and she's been showing signs that she wants to be outdoors, so we thought this was the safest way to do it. I'm kind of scared of leash training her because, you know, there's a lot of dogs around, and I'm scared that our reflexes won't be fast enough. But yeah, she had a few moments where she got scared, but I think for the most part, she really enjoyed it. And then we drove to North Carolina, which you just saw. And here's me showing you the press-ons that I made for our trip. Really liking apples right now, I don't know. But yeah, then we made it to North Carolina, and here's me showing you all the green that I always miss when I'm not home. I have to say that I really do miss seeing people's gardens and all their trees in their yards and their little farms. But yeah, this was us on our way to a brewery where we had some cider, some beer with my parents, and I really enjoyed this day. I had lots of fun walking around my hometown of Wendell. This is where I bought my wedding dress, by the way. It's a cute little town, you know? I really missed seeing families, getting dinner in the evenings and grabbing a beer, getting the kids some ice cream. It felt like Stars Hollow growing up, honestly, especially in the fall. And then we went to the movies because I promised my mom that we would watch the new Mandalorian movie together, so we did that. And, you know, because it's the Alamo, they did these fun little Star Wars themed movie theater reminders at the beginning, so that was cool, that was fun. Then later in the week, I made dinner for my family. I made homemade naan with garlic butter and tandoori chicken and Greek salad. And it turned out okay. I was nervous because I had never cooked for this many people before, but they liked it. I was very happy about that. And here are the cats enjoying their grandparents' much bigger home. And this is me having Bojangles, which I had almost every day for breakfast, which is not healthy at all. But oh my goodness, if you have Bojangles still near you, do not take it for granted because I can make myself cry in Miami just thinking about how much I miss Bojangles. Don't take it for granted. Another thing you shouldn't take for granted is H Mart. They don't have H Mart in Miami. We have Kimchi Mart, but it's much smaller. And I know there's better places to get Korean food in the Raleigh area, but I really miss H Mart, okay? Like the shopping options are just endless there. And after we got our food, we went to a park nearby for which my dad was actually involved in the roofing of some of the buildings in the park back in the early 2000s. So yeah, it was really nice. It was a beautiful day. We got to have our lunch near a lake, and yeah, my dad was telling us about what it was like to work there back in the day and how he was there on opening day. So yeah, I was really glad that we got to visit this park because it also allowed Justin and I to visualize, imagine what our life could look like in North Carolina, because we both really like the outdoors and that's probably what we'd be doing in our free time. So yeah, that felt productive. But this is what most of the week looked like, just us hanging out at my parents' house, working, watching the cats enjoy their much larger environment. And I got to have my mom's enchiladas. Girl, oh my goodness. Okay, top 3 meals I've ever had. Okay, I love my mom's enchiladas. Had more Bojangles. This is a bowberry biscuit. For those of you who don't know, have never seen one, this is magic. Okay, magic. Another reason why I love taking the cats back home to North Carolina is because I get to enjoy nature through them. They are surrounded by nature that they're not usually surrounded by in Miami, so it's really cool to get to see them react to nature and the neighbors' farm animals. Ramona was entranced, so that was really cool to see. She was sniffing the air like Diana used to do. She made me miss a lot of things from back home, including my girl Diana. And then my mom made mole for all our friends and family that came over to celebrate us. And I have to say, my mom's mole with my tia's rice is probably my favorite meal of all time. And I didn't take any videos of it because I was too busy eating it. Yeah, here's us cutting our cake. I had to edit this a little bit weird because there were some kids running around and I don't like to post children on the internet. So yeah, sorry about that, but here's me eating cake, getting embarrassed by my family. We ended our week in North Carolina going to Raleigh. We got coffee with one of my cousins in the morning and then we walked around. We went to this gift store called Deco. If you hear Tallulah, ignore her. But yeah, it was really neat. We got a gift for my in-laws and then we went to a different store and Justin had lots of fun going through some old sci-fi novels because he really likes the art on all of these. Yeah, they were really cool. And I think they also sell vinyl and VHSs. Yes, they sell VHSs and comics. And here's me showing you everything that we got. I got this print of this Bojangles painting because NT Pride, you know, had to have it. Some cool matches, and Justin got me this X-Men comic because I love the X-Men. Yeah, and then we went back home and now you get to hear me rant about moving to NC. Hi, let's make some bag chains, some purse chains. Okay, I already made 2 for my lovely purse that my dad gifted me. I love this purse, okay? I was looking for a purse exactly like this to fit my meeting service needs and I found it and my daddy bought it for me. I wanted to spice it up, you know? I wanted to add things to it to make it feel the way that I feel about this purse. I love this purse and I wanted it to look pretty. So for a while I was debating whether I should add like a scarf or like a bag chain or whatever, but most of the things that I was seeing like in stores I didn't really like that much, and I was hoping that when I went to New York that I would get more ideas, feel inspired, you know. There's lots of people with cool, fun styles walking around the streets of New York. I did see some things that I liked, but it wasn't until we went to an antique shop in Chinatown in Flushing where we were staying that I saw a few people selling these like very intricate beaded necklaces that I thought were really pretty. And that, you know, I was like, that looks pretty, but I don't know how I could incorporate that into my purse. So I didn't get it. I didn't get any of the cool necklaces I saw because I felt like I hadn't brainstormed enough to know how I would use them. So then afterwards I went on Pinterest and I looked up a few examples of what I wanted, and
and I made it. I made these two. I'll give you a close up later, but I made these two chains, but I still want to make some individual shorter chains that I can hang like on the sides, and I want to be able to take them on and off. Like, these are not married together. Like, I can get rid of the big one and just keep the shorter one. Some of these beads are from old jewelry that I took apart, and the rest is from Michael's or Amazon. So whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna get started on that. Also, do not judge my hair. The last time I washed my hair, I skipped like half of my hair routine. So yeah, I want to show you. Okay, so these are the beads that I'm working with. These and these I got from Michael's and Amazon, but these I already had this from old jewelry. There's some earrings that I took apart. I've kind of mapped it out, like what I'm gonna put on each chain. So I'm gonna do these and these, this with those, and then these coins are gonna be with this music note. So yeah, those are the, and then in between there's gonna be beads of different colors. But yeah, also I do have things to rant about. I'm sorry. Guess what? It's my house. It's my house. You're on my phone. It's my social media. Sorry, but I be talking. While I do this, I'm going to rant about moving because I am moving. Not anytime soon. Don't get excited, people in North Carolina. Most of our friends and families we've already talked about this with them. Again, not anytime soon. It's a long-term goal. We don't know how long it's going to take us. Financially speaking, we are not in the position where we'd like to be before making such a big move. You need a little bit of, you know, darn. Let me get a pillow behind me, because ooh, God, if you deal with back problems, you know, sometimes you can't even breathe. Anyways, we want to move back for lots of different reasons, but it's gonna take us a while to follow through with it. It might take us a very long time, I don't know, but that's kind of what I want to talk about today, how I feel about it, because even though we're not doing it right now, we are actively working towards that goal, and I feel lots of mixed emotions about it. It's also like taking up such a big part of my life right now. It would feel weird not to be able to talk about it when I rant and stuff, because it relates to so many other areas of my life. Ultimately, like, the biggest reason I would say for why we're eventually planning on moving back to North Carolina is because life in Miami is very, very expensive. Everywhere is getting more expensive. North Carolina is not an exception to that. That being said, no one can afford a house here. No one can. And that is becoming true in North Carolina, but there's still some areas where you can get a little 2-bedroom house even as a newlywed. Not here. Like, that's just completely unheard of. One of the first things you'll notice when you drive down the streets in Miami or the neighborhoods around Miami, you can barely see some of the houses because they're all covered, like their front lawn is covered with cars because there are multiple people living in one house. If it weren't for family, we wouldn't be able to afford rent here. We're renting from family. But it's not just like car insurance and rent, it's like everyday things are more expensive here. Like, I have been on restaurant apps on my phone and it thinks I'm in North Carolina, so it shows me a price for a meal, and then I switch it to this zip code, and a $12 meal from Applebee's in North Carolina is $18 here. Yeah, so it's just everything. It's like parking, you breathe here and it costs $20. Darn, like everywhere is struggling right now, but I really feel like we'll struggle a little bit less in North Carolina. Obviously, I've talked about how the lack of nature and seasons has really affected me here. And since preparing for our trip to New York, I think that I've been able to expand my thoughts on that a little bit more. I've had more time to analyze exactly how I feel about living in a more city-like atmosphere than I was used to growing up. And I have thoughts. I think when I first got to Miami, everything was so new and exciting. It wasn't until my first fall was approaching that I realized, oh, I don't get to enjoy fall. Not that I hadn't thought about it before moving here, but it's different, you know, than just thinking about it and experiencing it. That's when I started really meditating on the impact it was going to have on me, living without seasons. And I have kind of grouped that together with the lack of nature that is always going to be in a city compared to a place like where I was from that was more suburb slash rural. Seeing how my husband loves New York. My husband is a city boy. He is a city person through and through, I would say. He really enjoys making connections with random strangers and people that are not like him. You know, he likes linguistics, he likes learning about different cultures. So one of the reasons I fell in love with him, you know, like I wanted to be with somebody who was just as curious about the world as I was. Yeah, he thrives in a city like atmosphere. In the past, I think I always saw New York as just this smelly, busy city that was way too expensive to ever consider living in. But since living in Miami, and this is why I'm so grateful for having lived in Miami and for the few years that I'm still going to be living here, it has really broadened my horizons in that sense, where I value human connection a lot more now. And before we left for New York, I was even romanticizing the idea of moving there, which, like, girl, I can't afford Miami. Like, what makes me think I can afford New York, you know? But I realized in preparing for that trip and being there that I think more than nature itself, what I'm really looking for are seasons, experiencing seasons. I never imagined myself living in a city, much less Miami. That just never entered my brain, you know? I always thought that if I were to ever move to a city, it would be New York. And I started thinking about that. Like, why did I always feel that way? Why did I feel like New York was a city that made more sense for me? And a lot of it is the seasons, the weather. New York is a city, and there's not going to be a lot of nature there, but they have Central Park, you know? And there are other parks in New York besides Central Park. And I do feel like New Yorkers have gone out of their way to incorporate nature into the landscape of the city. And people go to New York to experience the seasons there. The biggest thing that I would miss, that I'm going to miss from Miami, that has really, really helped me, is the people. Caribbeans in general are just more affectionate. They just are. And as an introvert, that has really made me feel included within my community. Like, I freaking love my congregation, man. Like, I'm scared I'll never be in a congregation like this ever again because everyone is just so nice. And I've had so many people here actually try to get to know who I am. Maybe it's because it's a city and people are really busy. They don't have time to overanalyze the next person's actions. I come from a small town, and I'm okay saying this to you guys because most of the people that are watching from my small town would probably agree with me on this, that when you're in a small town and you know everything about everyone and there's not that many things to do in your environment, there's going to be a lot of like people butting heads. Here, because people don't have time for that, they don't, in the nicest way possible, I'm trying to say, like, they have better things to do. It doesn't feel so like everyone's watching you or everyone's judging you. I feel the opposite of that here. I feel like people are so grateful for the little time they do get to have with friends and loved ones, that it's not being wasted on drama or pettiness or anything negative. It's just like, let's have a good time. I'm not saying that everywhere in North Carolina is like the bubble that I was raised in. Gosh, now I sound like I'm trash talking my hometown. I'm not. I miss my hometown. Oh my god. But that's, you know, that's an observation I've made. So yeah, I love everybody that I've been able to get to know personally. Everybody is just so loving and kind. I do dread having to leave all the friends that we've made here, that I've made here. They're really making this decision quite difficult. But in like my everyday life, I don't feel fulfilled by Miami. I always knew I was going to struggle here, but I still came with a very open mind. I loved my home, but I knew that I didn't want to live there forever. And moving to Miami didn't feel that scary of a thought, you know? I always knew I was going to leave home eventually, and that wherever I moved to, I wanted it to be different from where I came from. And yeah, I got that. I got that, definitely. But since arriving here, I've also been able to learn about all the things that I really do need to feel happy and content where I live. And there's just a lot of things here that, for me personally, the negatives kind of outweigh the positives. I think for me to thrive in a city, I would need all four seasons and some nature. Miami is also a city that tries to incorporate its nature into the city landscape, but there are no seasons. There's no variety in lots of different things. For example, variety in cultures. The diversity here feels like it's just on paper, not in real life. When I was about to move here, Justin would tell me about how diverse this place was, and I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to interacting with more cultures, with people from different races, making more friends with people that are not like me. That did happen, but not in the way that I thought it was going to. The biggest population here is made up by Cubans and Caribbeans, but mostly Cubans. There's not really a lot of Mexicans. There's lots of black people, lots of Venezuelans, lots of Colombians, but no one interacts with each other. And not that in North Carolina everybody was mixing so freely, but although technically Miami is in the South, because it's its own little bubble, it does not feel like the South. People say this from Florida all the time, that the more south you go in Florida, the more north you get. And that is very true. People here don't say, excuse me. Yeah, no, it's not. That southern hospitality is not present here. In terms of diversity, although there's more variety in different communities that live here, none of them interact the way that everyone does in small towns in the South. Even the most racist white blue collar men in towns of the South, they're being forced to interact with other Hispanics, other black people. You have to mix. Here the majority are Latino, and so they don't really have reasons to step outside of that. Why leave your community if everyone you need to know is also Cuban? I've seen people talk about this online, about how diversity in bigger cities feels more by the book compared to southern towns, because in those cities, I mean, there's a reason why there's like Chinatown. You know, like people stick to their own, and to find more variety, and you have to go out of your way to find that. And I don't know, in North Carolina, you didn't really have to do that. Like, you know, if you go eat at a restaurant, your waiter could be anything. Could be Hispanic, white, black, Asian. Here, it's either black or Cuban, and barely sometimes. I went to Waffle House one weekend with Justin, and we were the only Hispanics there. And I asked him, like, do Cubans not go to Waffle House? And he was like, not here, actually. And that was just so strange to me, that at a Waffle House where I thought it was like everyone's second home, at least in the South, you know, that we were the only Hispanics there. I don't know, like, you step foot in a Waffle House in the butt crack of North Carolina, you're gonna find black people, white people, like everybody. Yeah, and that's not what it's been like here. And I've been kind of disappointed by that. I do miss Mexican culture and being with more Mexicans, but I think more than that, what I really, really miss is being able to interact with people that are not like me in just everyday life. But here, if you want to interact with other races, you have to make an effort to do that. You have to go to their neighborhood or eat at one of their establishments. I don't need to like go on a rant about like all the reasons why I don't want to live in Miami, because I like Miami. Miami is nice. I just think I would like it and appreciate it more if I only visited, because to live here, I do feel like I lack a lot of things that I need to thrive. But what has really, really helped is the people here. I love the inclusivity that I have experienced here, and that has made it worth staying. But I am also old enough and I know myself enough to accept that I don't think I can live here forever. I told Justin that almost immediately that I realized it, and it's hard, you know, it's hard to come to that realization because I really did move here hoping that I could see myself here, you know, for my husband's sake. I mean, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have to leave your entire family just because you have to. It's not a good feeling. It sucks. And if I didn't have to put him through that, I would have preferred that. But the way it turned out, I didn't see myself here forever. And although it was difficult to have to say that out loud, he has just been really wonderful about it. I mean, I would always tell people, when people would ask me like, pero por qué te tienes que ir? You know, why do you have to move? Besides, you know, all the logistics of it and how it just made more sense for me to move here. I would say, because I know he would do it for me. And yeah, he's willing to do it. And he had always stressed that to me when we were dating, that if we needed to move back, he would do it. I feel very at peace with what this next stage in our marriage and our life is gonna look like. I don't know, like the other day I was just thinking, like, we're young, you know, we don't plan on having kids. Like, we can do whatever we want, we can move wherever we want. Shoot, you know, like, we might get to North Carolina and Justin might realize the way that I realized about Miami, that he does not want to live there, and I would be okay with moving to a different city, to somewhere that feels more like the both of us. I'm very grateful for having tried this out, living in Miami, because I have learned so much about myself. The fact that I can adapt to different environments and I can find joy anywhere I go, that has really given me the confidence to be able to do that anywhere else and not feel so scared about doing it anywhere else. I'm excited to go back to North Carolina, but I also recognize that it's probably been easy for me to romanticize life in North Carolina because the place that I'm currently living in does not entirely fulfill me. So of course, the only other place that I've lived in is going to sound like a dream. But I know that's not true. I know that there were things about North Carolina that I didn't like. If it works out, maybe we can stay there. If it doesn't, like, I am so open to the fact that there is a possibility that my husband does not feel at home in North Carolina, that he does not feel about North Carolina the way I feel about North Carolina, and I'm okay with that. I really, really am. Yeah, like, I think I have adopted a pretty balanced mindset about this whole thing. I've lived in a small town and I lived in a bigger city now, and I think I would be fine in a city with a little bit of nature in it, as long as they have seasons. Moving back to North Carolina, even if it's not forever, I do feel like it's a step closer to finding where we do want to live, you know, forever. So, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that. About what it's been like to get used to the idea of potentially moving somewhere else. Yeah, I feel very optimistic about it. Like, I'm really excited about potentially living near my family again. That being said, if I had to leave my family again, I think it would be painful, but I do a much better job at dealing with it. Yeah, because I have missed my family so much, and it's been as painful as it has been because, again, the place that I'm living in doesn't feel like it can make up for all the things that I did have to sacrifice to live here. The people, my husband, definitely make up for it, but the environment itself doesn't. But I can only imagine that if I lived in a place that did fulfill me, that it'd be easier to miss my loved ones. I accepted a long time ago that it doesn't matter where I go, where I live, North Carolina, Miami, I'm always going to be missing somebody. The second I fell in love with a man that lived 5 states away, that became my reality, and the rest of my life is going to look like that. If I live in Miami, I'm going to be missing my family. If I live in North Carolina, I'm going to be missing his family. People that have had 5-minute interactions with my in-laws have told me that I have great in-laws, and yes, I do. I have wonderful in-laws and I love them so much, and I'm going to miss them a lot when we leave. So that's just my life now. That's just my life. If I live in New York, if I live in Chicago, if I live in Charlotte, if I live in Winston-Salem, if I live in Raleigh, it doesn't matter where I live, I'm always going to be missing somebody. So, ya que, might as well live somewhere that I want to live, you know? Okay, let me lock in on this. It's a lot harder for me to multitask when the things that I do are this intricate. I just finished. These are 2 that I made so that they can be together. Let me closer. Wait, hold on. You get closer. Get closer, girl. I don't bite.
Hey, you look really good, baby.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. These I made so that they can be together. I have got these from like a necklace that I had that I don't wear anymore. The red beads I also already had. They were from earrings. The stone beads, those are the ones I had to buy. Okay, sorry. So this one has like a little flower. He just got home and he went to the bathroom and she is losing her mind. Are you done? This one has a little flower. This one has butterflies from earrings that I had as well. And then I made this one that has like a little bear coin on it, which I really liked. I thought it was cute. Oh, okay, wait. And then this is a close-up of the other ones that I made. This is a cameo I had. This I bought. Again, like the stone beads I bought, but some of these I already had. It's like this I already had. This is from earrings. Yeah. Maybe another time when I do like a what's in my bag video, I can go into more depth about that, but see what it looks like with both of them. Ah, it's cute. So that's what it looks like. I'm probably not gonna have all this on it all the time. I'll probably do like just the 2 chains and one, or the 2 chains and these 2. Whatever. I can do whatever I want. That's it. See ya.
So because I didn't really know how I was going to edit that video, I didn't really film a proper outro. It was kind of out of order. So anyways, this is the outro. It was a very long vlog. Sorry about that. Not really. That's just because it was a very busy month and I have no control over that. So I just included everything I wanted to include. Watch it while you're cooking. Skip parts. Like, you don't have to watch the whole thing. It's your phone. It's your life. Who cares? I don't know when the New York vlog will be out. I'm excited to finish it and see the final product and share it, but I can't tell you when that's gonna be out. Thank you for watching, bearing with me. Yeah, okay, love ya. Bye. Say bye.
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 Sorry about that. Actually, I'm not sorry. It's my hair, not yours. Whatever. Leslie, shut up.